Now, Cairns School of Distance Ed, it's a completely different model to what most people are used to with schools. Is that it's a school with no students that are actually physically here most of every day.
Yes.
They're out
Yep.
on farms. They're out in remote areas. There's students from all over the place. So, how does the school actually physically work?
We have a whole range of students enrolled for different reasons. So we have geographically isolated students, we have medical enrolments, we have school-based enrolments. So basically students work from home. So we use a web conferencing program to deliver our lessons and our programs, but we also do have a fairly active field program. So we get our students to come in, we do outreach programs, we'll run mini schools at Laura Racetrack and Rodeo Grounds and Croydon, etc. So we do get out on the road and work with students. So they have a mix of face-to-face and online sort of work. I guess the challenges are delivering IT to students from home. So we sort of have to overcome that by sometimes we'll send things out, other times we'll have an in-reach program. But basically our kids are fairly tech-savvy because they have to be.
And so that's you face a lot of those same challenges that teachers would face in the classroom of integrating ICT
Yep.
in. So what are some of those challenges that you see that are actually very similar to teachers integrating ICT into the classroom to you through parents with students integrating ICT into their classrooms and their homes?
I think it's the challenge is getting the balance right with students. So looking at different projects and embedding things like robotics, drones into your regular programs that don't see it in isolation. So like with the drones program that we've recently run, the kids were doing mapping of their local area, so bringing in the HAS and stuff. With the robotics, we run challenges 3 times a year here. So again, the kids are doing the maths, science, technologies sort of stuff integrated. So I think that's the key. I mean, bandwidth is always an issue with us for students, so and access. But it's a challenge, but I think we do it fairly well considering.
And you spoke there about giving the students that challenge, so working towards something. How important do you find that is for the students, particularly because they're remote, and how do you help facilitate that challenge to work them towards that end goal when they're out remote, they're not here?
I guess quite often we do spend a lot of time building relationships with our families and spending a lot of time on the phone and in web conference with our students and to support them, because ultimately their parents are their home teachers, so we're here to support that. But I guess getting kids into something that is meaningful and real life to them and they engage in is key to that, because it can become very monotonous just doing school over the computer if you're not careful.
Yeah. And so what, in your experience, 19 years in all of this with ICT, where do you see teachers in the classroom, because you're involved with QSight? So QSight tell us a little bit about QSight. What is it?
QSight's the Queensland Society for Information Technology Educators. I'm State Treasurer and also the Regional PD Coordinator for Far North Queensland. I guess the key thing is a lot of teachers are keen to do it, but it's about supporting them. So we'll quite often travel and run PD sessions for staff. We run things in here. We just got a $14,000 Google grant to help support some rural remote teachers and stuff. But it's basically about having some key educators who are prepared to give their time to support people who want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you talk about that support. So what are those challenges? What's that, a lot of the time, that first sort of wall that you have to help teachers overcome as an educator of teachers yourself?
I think sometimes too, teachers are very busy. The curriculum is fairly crowded. So trying to show teachers ways they can do this without adding and increasing to their workload, how they can do their teaching better by incorporating the use of ICTs in there. And I think sometimes just giving them simple, manageable challenges and letting teachers succeed and seeing what they can do in their classroom is key to really getting it to sort of go viral, if you like.
And so that key of getting it into the scene where it is in the curriculum, so that first hurdle of we're not adding more, we're making it easier. What do you then find once we've got past that in terms of student engagement with ICT and in the lesson, in the learning? How does
You see a much bigger uptake. I mean, prior to me coming here, I was teaching at Kuranda State College. Had a huge issue with non-attendance and stuff. And once we started to embed the ICT stuff in there, you saw students who were avoiding school turning up before me at 7:30 in the morning trying to get stuff done. So I think this is what kids live with all the time, and I think using what they're used to and what they're passionate about to get them engaged, you really definitely see a much bigger uptake and kids engaging with the program.
Cool. So EduDrone, it's all online. Online learning is something that you are very
Yep,
used to.
we do it every day, all day.
Yeah, we do a lot of online learning through SheMaps as well with teachers. Is it something that works?
Absolutely. I mean, like anything, sometimes you have days where the network goes down and everything's an issue, but you sort of rise above that. But no, absolutely it works. And I think for a lot of students who can't engage in schooling face to face, it's a really good option. And and I think particularly running a conference like you're running, you don't have to overcome the issue of distance. Everyone can just sort of jump into the same place at the same time, and I think it makes it really accessible and it's really good and affordable, I guess. Like, you're not having to pay hundreds of dollars for transport and to get into a program. I think it should be really exciting. We're really keen to be part of it.
Awesome. And so, what's the talk that you're going to be doing and the project you're talking about?
Okay, so Cairns School of Distance Education's major fundraiser is the Cairns to Currumbin Bike Ride, which happens every year, so it raises money for bush kids. So the principal put in a grant with the Paul Newman's Foundation and got $25,000 US. So the key project there was we purchased a heap of drones, and myself and some colleagues went out and did some professional development. We left the drones in a school, and we basically got the schools on route to the bike ride to map their region, their area, and tell what's so good about their area. So we're talking about how we sort of got that project from off the ground to currently where it is, which is still ongoing. Yeah.
And that's an awesome project because it is very practically based. It has got lots of real life application, and that's the thing with the drones, right? Is that they do have this real life application.
Yeah.
And you're talking with someone else on the project as
I
well?
am, my teaching colleague Ash Quested, because you can imagine we went out to 3 different schools and we taught with the preps through to the year 6s and the teachers as well. So I worked with the younger students, and Ash worked with the teachers and teacher aides and principals on how to actually get this drone footage mapped and how they can continue to use it. So.
All right, so you're going to be talking about the process that you undertook, a bit about the project, some tips and tricks of how to do this as well. So I reckon it's going to be a great talk.
Excellent, we look forward to it.
And so what else are you really looking forward to with the conference? We've got 39 other speakers, sort of with yourself and Ash. What else are you looking forward to learning?
I'm looking forward to seeing what other people are doing in this space, because I think it's, some of this stuff is really pioneering and really exciting. So I'd like to see how else we can take what we've just done on a sort of a relatively small scale and continue to improve, what we're doing. So I can't wait to see what others are doing.
And I think that's the biggest thing with teachers, isn't it?
Learning from others,
It's learning from others. It's that collaboration and sharing of resources. That's part of what we love doing, and why EduDrone we think is going to be so valuable. And again, all online, accessible. Attend from anywhere.
Fantastic. I can even do it in my holidays.